Our next writer occasionally posts stories to Wattpad.com and thinks Lubbock is a better place to drive than College Station. And just as a side note, red means stop, not okay, 3 more can go if you hurry. Please welcome Sydney Santos.
Hello. Okay, I'll be reading an excerpt from my short story entitled Canaries. This whole story kind of began as an idea. Someone used the metaphor, a canary in a coal mine, and I thought, hey, there's something. All right, here we go. A frantic morning had stalled into a quiet afternoon. Mavis was about to head down to the cafeteria with a few of the other techs when Henry, the lab manager, walked up to her. Mavis, something's come up. You need to come with me. What's going on? Is there something wrong with one of the formulas? It's your sister, Henry whispered. She's been taken to the overseer labs. Mavis grabbed the door frame as the ground beneath her began to quake. She could feel the others muttering behind her, and she wanted to ask them to leave, but she couldn't, because the world was sideways now and everything was floating away. She could feel herself being pried off of the doorframe and led out into the hall. The overseer labs were only 1 floor above the family labs, but the walk up the ramp felt like an eternity, and yet not nearly long enough. Too soon, she had reached the end of the ramp and was met with a set of clear double doors. The doors opened into a massive hallway with one wall made of completely glass. The other side had rows of chairs, where Mavis's mom and aunt currently sat. Her father paced the floor further down. Mavis rushed forward, punctuating the silence with every step, and reached for her mother's hand. Suddenly, another set of doors at the end of the hall was thrown open, revealing 2 men in stark white. They approached the family, hands behind their backs and masks covering their faces. Overseers. The shorter of the 2 stepped forward. A clipboard appeared in his hand. Family 217? That's us, said Mavis's father. We were told that our youngest had been brought here. That is correct. At 11:37 this morning, Aria, a family 217, was brought in for observation while presenting potential symptoms of her designated disease. At 11:46, her symptoms were confirmed. She is now undergoing the standard tests. Due to this propagation, the rest of your family will now receive closer on-site observation. You will still be required to fulfill your daily activities. Mavis marveled at the man's indifference. He spoke as this information was something innocuous, like a weather report, and not a death sentence. He showed no sympathy, no indication that he felt bad for the group of people in front of him. And why would he? They were only cattle, after all. Can we see her? Asked Mavis's mother, voice barely more than a whisper. All contact with the patient is to be discontinued immediately. You shall be informed if her condition changes. And with that, he was gone, back down the hall, the other overseer trailing behind. Mavis's mother began to weep terrible, gasping sobs. Father wrapped his arms around her, murmuring soothing words into her hair. Mavis released her hand and walked over to the windows. From here, she could see the entire cage, from the greenhouses where her parents worked to the ball courts where the kids played on the weekends. A dazzling blue sky encompassed them, but whether or not it was real, Mavis would never know. The cage was completely closed off by an environment dome. Each day, the overseers would receive environmental data from some region of the world: air composition, water, and air quality. Then, the dome would be programmed to mimic the given environment, only at a condensed state. That way, if there was ever anything that could cause a potential outbreak, the disease family would be the first warning. This was the genius behind the Canary program. Cures and anti-serums became preventive medicine, and the death total had decreased exponentially. Millions were saved, but the cure never came soon enough for those whose entire existence was dependent on the disease. Aria was going to die. This Mavis knew. They were all going to die, but Aria was going to die first. Thank you.